Now, how do you know when you're dehydrated? Some of the signs are that your urine turns very yellow, dark yellow. It should be clear, like clear water, no color. Your urine turns dark yellow. And also, if you urinate 6 or less times a day, ideally you urinate between 8 and 12 times a day. And that's also the amount of water that's recommended for most people. You can just remember the 8 to 12 times, and then you just see how many times you urinate. Now, if you eat a lot of juicy fruits and vegetables, as I do, then you might urinate more frequently, or you might also drink a little bit less water. You might just drink 4 to 6 cups of water if you eat a lot of juicy fruits and vegetables. But again, look at your urine and also see how many times you urinate throughout the day. That's a good indicator. So carry your water bottle, ideally a glass bottle with you all the time, wherever you go, and just have a sip there. Just throughout the day, drink a little bit of water all the time, most of it in the morning. Now, the next one I'd like to mention is rest and sleep. Now, some people, they drink so much before they go to sleep that they have to get up very frequently. So that's not a good idea. It's better to drink it in the earlier part of the day. And so many people now suffer from one form or another insomnia. So many people that I see. And it didn't occur to me. I usually fall asleep within 10 seconds. And that was the first thing I noticed in 1995 when I started eating 100% raw and living foods. My sleep was so much better and I woke up refreshed. It's a wonderful feeling when you wake up in the morning and you may or may not even need the alarm clock. You're just awake, you're up and you're ready to do and you're motivated and you do the things that you love to do. Even although there might be some things that are more challenging, but they also become more the things that you love to do as you get up as you come out of bed more easily. You feel more refreshed. So sleeping at minimum 6 hours at night, the absolute minimum, in a cool, dark and quiet place. Cool, dark and quiet place. Minimum of 6. Better would be between 7 and 9 hours for most people. Again, there are some exceptions. Some people need less, some people need a little bit more. But how many of us get that amount of sleep? So many people know that sleep is important, and for our health, our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health. I've met many people going through the program at the Institute, and many people don't sleep enough. For many, that is the weakest link in the chain, the sleep. Not sleeping enough at night. And they might be eating, many of them are eating wonderful food, they're good at exercising, they get fresh air, and a lot of things are right. But if you think of these 9 secrets as a wheel, and each one is a spoke in the wheel. And if some of them are very long, like maybe you're exercising 3 hours every day, so you're very good at that one, but you're only sleeping 5 or 6 hours at night, so you have a very short spoke, the wheel will not be moving very, very, very smoothly. So it's very important to look at the weakest link, the shortest or the longest spoke, and to put more emphasis on that one. Again, this is a lifestyle that in Wigmore was developing. The Living Foods lifestyle. It's not just a diet or a cleansing program or a rejuvenation program. It's really a lifestyle. And it is really a path to live happier and more satisfying lives. And there's so many components, and sleep is a very, very important one that for so many of us has been neglected. And rest and relaxation. Relaxation. So few of us take time to really relax. And again, if you might be doing so many wonderful things and eating such wonderful food, but you need to give your body the time to absorb it and to heal, to recuperate, to repair. Give your body the time. Most of the healing occurs at night when you're sleeping. And The absorption of the nutrients occurs in the day when you're resting, when you're just quiet. If you're always on the go, always on the run, you don't digest food properly if you're on the run. If you're in a stressful state all day long, you cannot, even if you eat the most wonderful food, your body cannot absorb that nutrition. It's very, very important to take time to rest, to relax, to get the sleep. And if you exercise a lot, then it's even more important because your body needs to recover from the exercise. Now let's move on to, I said living foods, lifestyle several times. Now we'll move to food, and we'll take a little bit more time on this. So living foods, what we're looking for is our foods that nourish our system. Again, the main reason that I can find why we eat is to be happy. Now, we can look at this from two perspectives. One, we feel unhappy, and we eat because we feel unhappy, not because we're hungry. We eat for emotional reasons, so we reach for the comfort foods that fill the void, and it lasts sometimes for a few minutes, but most of the time it doesn't last very long. It's not one of the keys to lasting happiness, eating, otherwise it would be wonderful. We could all be sitting and eating all day long. So then, from another perspective, if we don't eat, we don't have energy. We eat for energy. We eat to fuel the system, and we eat to put the nutrients into our system that nourish the system so we feel comfortable in our bodies. When we eat better, we feel comfortable. When we feel comfortable, we also tend to have more pleasant emotions, more pleasant thoughts. If we feel uncomfortable, we feed more the patterns of fear, anxiety, and so forth. And if we don't have energy, if we don't eat, some of you may know this experience, we don't eat enough, and then we feel a little bit weaker. And then we feel weaker, and then we start worrying. And then we might get sick because we don't nourish our system, and then we get afraid, I don't know if I can go back to work. I feel so sick. So many people now diagnosed with cancer, and so many of the diseases that kill people on a daily basis. So get even more worried, and then instead of reaching for the foods, I know some people now that get so frightened, they go for chemotherapy and for radiation. They're so frightened, and so much fear is put into them that they will die if they don't do it. As opposed to doing what we see all the time, people succeed all the time, coming to the institute with cancer, people come, they have 1 week to live. And they keep returning for years and years and years. And yes, the doctors might be right that you only have 1 week to live if you don't change your lifestyle. So maybe it's true what they're saying. However, if we do change our lifestyle, we do change our eating habits, then we see all the time, we change our patterns, people are living very wonderful, beautiful, successful lives, happy lives, all the time. We see this. And it's not just with cancer, that's just an example. Heart disease. Diabetes can be healed 1 and 2 within 1 or 2 weeks. Very quickly. And usually, we don't have medical doctors on staff, so we don't suggest to stop taking your medication when you're at the Wigmore Institute. We don't have any medical doctors on staff. We suggest you keep taking your medication, and sometimes, actually very often, we call our guest students. We have students at the Institute, and they didn't tell us that they stopped taking their insulin, they stopped taking their heart, their blood pressure medication very frequently, and we would tell them to take it if we knew, so we don't want to get in trouble. Very often they stop taking it, and then at the end they tell us, I stopped taking my blood pressure medication, and my blood pressure dropped. And we say, thank God it dropped and you're fine. And we see it all the time. And with people's cholesterol dropping, people lose weight all the time. So again, it's not really a weight loss program, but people just come and they lose weight.